Welcome to a 1v1 on Crossing in the Woods. This game is going to be Para, also known as Paradox, also known as Neria, versus Chillty. Going to see Upper Commando West in the north, fortifications, Scavenge, and Luftwaffe against Chillty's shock motor, guard motor, and shock rifle. So pretty standard loadout from him. Going to see Sternpyos heading left, Volksgrenadiers fielded towards the cutoff, and SWS looks like it's making its way generally towards the center area. For now, Combat Engineers going hard left.
Soldiers ready.
Multiple conscript opening. And Stern Pioneers are going to head left towards that point, while Volksgrenadiers back cap here on the cutoff point. Apparently, Chillty likes Kuba wagons, but I don't think Para is going to field one. They seem pretty effective on this map. It's nice to have the early game suppression source, but pretty difficult to keep it alive for any significant amount of time against Soviets. And apparently he never uses them, so now we know he's not going to build one. Couple barbed wire positions going up here on the munitions by the Stern Pioneers try and capture the point. One conscript squad heading right towards the munitions. These two squads left will probably win against Stern Pyos. If nothing arrives to support, since Stern Pyos will have no way to get into close range. Wow, Combat Engineers just retreated though. Stern Pioneers finished taking control of the munitions, cross the water, and move towards the center VP. And I guess that those Combat Engineers are going to go tier 1. But I don't know, we'll see what he chooses to do. Everything over here being taken by these two squads of Volksgrenadiers. Fuel income will begin for Paradox quite soon. And no tech decision from him yet, and he actually will build a Kuba wagon, so just kidding.
It is now under our control.
Couple barbed wire positions being thrown down on more green cover over here. Conscripts have like a little green cover they can use. More being built right there, quite close to the edge of the river. First engagement joined over here on the right side. We'll see Volksgrenadiers against conscripts at point blank range, so the conscripts will win easily, I think. Two models just got sniped though. That was kind of interesting. I'll be amazed if these Volksgrenadiers win this engagement. Over here on the left side, Kuba wagon will engage against these conscripts in green cover. And apparently those Volksgrenadiers beat conscripts at point blank range. I can't believe that happened. Kuba wagon is engaging against all this stuff. I think this engagement should go to these conscripts. Those Stern Pioneers are probably going to go down at this range pretty fast. Although this squad should move into cover. Just got suppressed by the Kuba right there in its red cover position. Over here, these Volksgrenadiers do take control of all points on the right side of the river. Munitions, victory, and fuel points captured. Nothing on its way to counter right now because of Chillty's decision to go tier 1. Which leaves him with only 3 conscripts on the field right now against his opponent's also 3 squads plus Kuba wagon. Squad's going to retreat right there. Volksgrenadiers moving up to push away these pinned conscripts. Stuck around for an oddly long time trying to bait that Kuba wagon and possibly wipe those Stern Pyos. Instantly wiped them as they were repairing, and the Kuba wagon is going to be destroyed easily as well. There goes the Kuba wagon. It's dead for sure. M3 smashes onto the battlefield. Clearly, Para was not ready for it, didn't plant a mine or anything, because he'd had fuel transfer on, I believe, as he tried to make his way up to Flak half-track, which is going to hit the field now. Pretty bad engagement for him, though, bringing him down to just 2 squads of Volksgrenadiers. This one of which is going to get bled hard as it tries to retreat away from the M3 with the flamethrower inside.
Includes a field hospital, but only for those who are seriously wounded.
Looted, I skipped your game because I didn't think you were here. Now that you're here, I'll do you next. Squad gets wiped, although it does expose it. The M3 does expose itself to flak gun fire right there. He needs to use attack ground. Whatever, he's gonna win this no matter what. There's like no way that M3 is gonna get away from this. If he had used attack ground, he wouldn't have needed to reposition like that, but it's irrelevant. M3 destroyed. Folks Grenadiers should be able to move back out onto the battlefield. This squad is going to retreat over here from the right side. These conscripts taking control of the victory point. This squad taking control of the center VP. This squad taking control of the left side VP. Will start a triple cap going against Para quite soon. He's going to field himself a fresh squad of Stern Pioneers out of necessity. Kind of a shame his original squad got wiped, putting him at a severe manpower disadvantage. Only 2 combat capable squads on the field against 5, pretty much all of which are superior, especially this one. Guards on the field. Be pretty much impossible for Folks Grenadiers to deal with.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
There goes that squad. The flak half-track is making its way back towards the base for repairs, I think, or maybe to engage against these conscripts, but he should be very careful to engage against conscripts without vision or support. Falls a little low, just the small arms, and should really consider pulling back for repairs. This squad definitely has to retreat, surrounded and wounded. And that flak half-track should get out of there. All it's going to take is one conscript squad oorahing up and hitting it with an AT grenade to be almost certain death.
This building is ready to train good Soviet.
We have an LMG. The enemy is firing on us. Shit! He owed me money. We are ready.
Fortunately, guards will be forced to retreat from that engagement. Pretty unsupported, walk straight into the suppressing fire of that flak half-track, and Stern Pios are finally here to support and repair. Flak half-track up to 5 kills against guards, forcing that retreat is quite valuable. We'll try to maintain control over here on the left side, get this munitions, and get the victory point clock slowed by these Folks Grenadiers here in the center. Still only 2 squads of Folks Grenadiers on the field, to 3 conscripts and a flamethrower, meaning that flak half-track is the only thing Paradox really has at his disposal to maintain map control, and it looks like he's going to get quite aggressive with it, crossing the river despite the threat of mines. I'm just hoping for the best. Chillty is up to 4 CPs, giving him access to both the heavy mortar guards, of course, as we can see. Has not fielded a heavy mortar yet, but he is guard mortar coordination, so call-in tanks are probably on their way. Conscripts are going to work on the right side point right here, and Jaeger light infantry are fielded out of the left. By the way, these conscripts are going to take advantage of the blind spot on this building. Notice that only a limited number of these windows can actually engage against infantry positioned right here. The hedge and trees block the right side window right there from firing, and I think can also block the top window from firing, depending on exactly how you're positioned. And a pretty good blind spot to take advantage of right there, but conscripts are forced to retreat through the flak half-track Jaegers, and Stern Pioneers moving up on the flank anyway. Wait, did I speed up the game? Oops.
Where do you need engineer squad?
We are as ready as we can be.
Conscripts setting up in green cover right here on the right side. Move to take control of the strategic point next. Flamethrower engaging against the Folks Grenadiers in green cover there.
T-gun is ready for combat. Contact with the enemy.
Squad is forced to retreat over here in the center. Conscripts are taking control of the victory or strategic point. Folks Grenadiers heading right.
Enemy forces
Try and
are
catch some
capturing our supplies.
combat engineers on the retreat with their flamethrower. Jaegers grabbing the strategic point, and Pios making their way for the center VP.
Supply lines
But
are
nice cutoff by Paradox, and he's got excellent map control. He's making amazing use of that flag half-track, forcing so many retreats and taking a lot of territory as a result.
under attack.
Needs to be careful though. Tosses a grenade right there, but that wasn't a very good chance of a wipe. That squad was quite spread out. He will be forced to retreat here very soon. I don't know what he's waiting for. This could be a wipe if he doesn't pay attention. What is he doing? There he goes. Fortunately, the guards don't snipe any further models with their PTRSs. Folks Grenadiers will get away. Flak half-track putting heavy pressure on that conscript squad also. Forces retreat. That squad will get away just as narrowly. Jaeger light infantry engaging against conscripts might win. Yes, they will. Stern Pioneers moving to put pressure on the cutoff, but he should be careful with these 4-man squads in red cover against guards. This cutoff isn't even that beneficial to take since he holds all points on the left, and he just went Puma. That's a rather bold decision. especially against guard motor. It's not going to be that useful until two T-34-85s arrive, and then it's going to be extremely hard to micro cost effectively. Infiltration grenades force a retreat from that flamethrower squad. Puma trying to get some snipes at range against these guards, and Flak Half-Track moves up to support against them as well. Folks Grenadiers moving to take control of the strategic point here on the right side.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
And a couple of squads are reinforcing and healing here in the base.
We have a DP-28. Give us a target.
Rifleman ready. Waiting for your command.
Two squads heading left.
HMG crew is ready.
Maxim setting up here in the middle. A couple of squads need to heal for Paradox before they make their way back onto the field. I'm quite surprised by his decision to go Puma. I don't really think that's going to be a very good choice. I don't think that it counters anything that Chillty is going to field this game. Except the M3, which is already dead. It can counter the M3. Other than that, I have no idea what he's going to do with this. AT grenades plus PTRS is highly threatening to it, and it's not that effective against infantry at all. At least not any more effective against infantry than infantry are effective against it. And it's very micro-intensive and extremely expensive. So he's going to have to make incredibly good usage of this to protect himself against those T-34-85s. One thing it is good at doing is baiting, though. It has high mobility and survivability. It can try and kite T-34s over mines and into Reckons. So we might see him try and do some mind games with that thing. Demo charge on those Sternpyos. Does not wipe the squad, fortunately. And they will get the cutoff. Decapped. Should probably retreat, though. Doesn't want to lose that full squad to a flamethrower critter or something. There they go. They will be retreating across the river with only one model remaining. But apparently Chillty will disengage away from them and they should get back to safety. Jaeger Light Infantry here on the left side will be forced to retreat. And guards are taking control of the cutoff and strategic point back.
The sector is at risk.
Puma circling center. Looking for opportunities to counter harass against conscripts where they might arise. I guess something that Puma could do is destroy cover stuff. That could be useful, maybe. Probably takes quite a while to do, though. I also don't think that there's any real benefit to pushing conscripts around with the Puma. It's better to hold still and try and get as much damage done with the coaxial machine gun as possible. That's the Puma's best anti-infantry damage source, other than lucky snipes, obviously. Tier 4 just got constructed, so Tier 3, 2 light vehicles, straight to Tier 4. We're seeing some pretty experimental stuff here from Para this game, and I'm honestly amazed that he's had as much success as he has so far. Operating on a very small army. And these light vehicles managed to maintain a pretty decent amount of map control. But he is struggling for victory points, unfortunately. 427 victory points left, though. He has a great lead, huge victory point lead. But currently, he's double capped.
Anti-tank gun is ready for action.
AT gun making its way to the front line. Flamethrower grabbing the munitions on the right. Now that there's a field gun out, that Flak Half-Track will be a lot more difficult to use as effectively as he has been using it thus far. Nice burst right there. Late reaction, but I think the squad will survive. Stern Pioneers have a minesweeper now to protect against demos. He will sweep the center and see if there's not really anything here. And if these Jaeger Light Infantry jump into some green cover, well, they'll probably lose to this Maxim no matter what they do. Plus guards. Stern Piles fall low to conscript fire at range and are forced to retreat. Flak Half-Track fires one burst at the machine gun before retreating away from the threat of the AT gun right there. Looks like Paradox is kind of struggling in engagements, but still has pretty solid map control. I think this is going to be a wipe.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Unless Chillty's not paying attention, apparently. Okay, Folks Grenadiers get a miraculous survival. AA Half-Track moves right. force away the flamethrower, but there is an AT gun available to prevent and push that back off the battlefield. Obersoldaten engaging here in the center, I think, are going to lose against conscripts. They are outnumbered and at conscripts' optimal range, and they have not upgraded with an LMG yet, so they're getting beaten by conscripts quite badly, actually. They should retreat. There they go.
We have the point secured, but the enemy wants it back. Conscripts here.
Flak half-track is set up in the arc of fire of a field gun, so won't be able to stick around there all day. Puma trying to snipe guards at range isn't experiencing much success. These Volksgrenadiers engaging against these conscripts, doing what they can. That flak half-track still seems quite vulnerable. Fortunately, Chillty still has not got vision of it. Conscripts easily win the engagement against Volksgrenadiers over here and will start taking territory on the right side. Flak half-track is moving to counter now. And over here on the left, it seems like Para's not really making any progress with that Puma. Second AT gun is on the field now, which puts that Puma in pretty severe danger. It's going to have to pull back for repairs. Flak half-track working on the conscript squad. Will wipe it though. Nice wipe. Chillty was not watching that engagement. Flak half-track takes one AT gunshot and will be forced back for repairs. Apparently, I think Chillty is maybe Australian. I can't remember where he's from. Australia or New Zealand, I think. And I know Paradox is Korean, so I'm sure that the lag this game is pretty bad. I don't doubt that at all. I don't think that's Relic's fault. I don't think Relic can fix the fact that they're on opposite sides of the planet.
Cover me!
Mortar team has arrived.
Grey Goo actually had regional matchmaking as an option. You could check. You could only get matched against people in your continent, or you could do global matchmaking. You had an option. So if you wanted shorter queue times and you didn't mind lag, you could match against anybody in the world. I think that would be a cool option to have in KOTU as well. But if you only want to get matched against people near you, queue times can get pretty long. Flamethrower will be forced to retreat right there. Demo charge is looking a little bit threatening. Both light vehicles deployed to the right side to try and solidify the hold on this fuel point and victory point if at all possible. Obersoldaten, is that a fresh squad? Yes, fresh squad making its way right. This squad charging straight towards the cutoff. Why? Throwing infiltration grenades. That dealt almost no damage. I think that friendly fire mortar did more damage to those guards than the infiltration grenade did. And they will be forced away. One of the best features of Obersoldaten is their frangible. Once they hit Vet 1, Para will have that available to him. Should try and maybe conserve a little bit of munitions flow for frangible grenades. Try and win some engagements with that.
T-34-85 tanks are now ready for use. Use them to crush the Huns.
That squad will be forced to retreat right there. Volksgrenadiers left, probably gonna have to retreat, taking heavy damage from guards. And there's an Ostwind on the field. Interesting. Ostwind should be a very powerful tool against the heavy mortar and against conscripts and guards. Wow, that is an incredibly aggressive maneuver against that field gun. I can't believe he's actually attempting that, and he will be able to do so unpunished. Field gun repositioned, did not get any shots off. Full retreat into the Soviet base right here. And Obersoldaten will steal the AT gun, which is pretty expensive to do, but 150 manpower cost worth of reinforcement might be worth it. Here come the T-34-85s. Field gun has to turn around to assist in this engagement. Ostwind should try and get to safety if at all possible. Maybe try and pop smoke on this thing. Puma moves to assist in this engagement, and there goes that. Did not pop smoke. Ostwind will try to circle these woods to stay safe away from those T-34s, which went in an odd path. Honestly, I don't know where they're going or what they're doing. I don't know why they didn't just kill the Ostwind and Flak half track, which were basically stationary for that push. The Puma is being microed carefully back to base. That's the highest priority to preserve that, I guess. Ostwind just got cleared. Ostwind got abandoned, I mean. Field gun got cleared. There's the destruction, and T-34s have killed basically everything as soon as they hit the field. Para was clearly not prepared and quite overextended for that. He didn't plant any preparatory mines, has no Raketenwerfer and only one Panzerschreck, so I don't know what he's gonna do. T-34s inflict massive damage when they hit the field, and Para will have to find some way to recover from here. Infiltration grenades to try and clear that AT gun are not successful, and Folks Grenadiers will be forced to retreat right there. Stern Pioneers on the left side are getting killed, and should probably retreat soon. There they go. Obersoldaten retreating from the middle, and this squad of Obersoldaten moves to take control of everything in this area.
We have 200 points remaining.
Sector is secured.
Engineers have secured the sector.
Obersoldaten engaging against that conscript squad. These two squads are blobbing into a Maxim, and we'll probably both get suppressed. AoE suppression on the Maxim's pretty bad, but not that bad. Obersoldaten and Puma over here on the right side. Puma will attempt to do what it can against that already damaged T-34, maybe push it back into the base. Flamethrower forces a retreat from those Obers, which need to try to attack, move, and engage at maximum range and stop charging into conscripts and flamethrowers and stuff. Puma takes a couple long shots at conscripts, but other than that, nothing too serious. No demo charge opportunities have arisen yet for Chillty. He still has a lot of them sprinkled around, but nothing stepping on them yet. There is a minesweeper upgraded for Para, but he hasn't swept any demo charges either because sweeping is just generally very difficult with Upper Commando West because of the terrible minesweeper range. Here in the base, a couple squads reinforcing and healing. Combat engineers will repair that T-34 quite soon, and this one's going to back off for some repairs as well. A sniper has been fielded for Chillty. Interesting late game choice, probably as a counter to those Obers, but it's going to have to be careful. Clearly the LMG-34 is still pretty threatening to the snipers.
Enemy forces are attempting to
Obers are
capture
charging
the
into close range on that sniper squad, and will laser beam it to death quite quickly. I'm not even sure that's going to get away. Wow.
A squad of infantry has been killed.
Obers just walked right up and killed it. And then we'll retreat immediately from the T-34, moving to counter over here on the left side. Conscripts running through red cover right here.
The sector is at risk.
We are taking losses! Take cover!
Grenade toss could be a wipe. Late dodge.
The enemy has killed another infantry.
I wonder if lag was involved in the loss of that squad. Probably. Didn't notice in time. Squad wiped. These three squads making their way back out of the base. Obers need some reinforcement as well. Trying to maintain this force of elite infantry is proving to be quite expensive. Para does not have any manpower float whatsoever. Chillty, on the other hand, starting to float a little bit for either another squad of guards. Probably floating too much for his next set of call-ins. I think he should spend his manpower on at least one more unit before worrying about his next set. of T-34s. Panther is miraculously going to make it onto the field despite having gone Flak half-track and Puma. 25-minute Panther, not bad. He's probably had fuel transfer active all game for that to happen. That's my guess. And his map control is also quite good, somehow. I don't know how he's maintaining such good map control, honestly. Panther on the field will start to engage against this T-34. He's going to dive way too hard, though. I can't believe he's doing this. Puma needs to move to assist in this engagement. Panther is marked and already down to half health. I don't know what he's thinking with this crazy maneuvering. He's gonna hit a mine for sure any second. Plane crash doesn't look like it hit anything. Panther falling dangerously low. Puma trying to help in this engagement, and this is desperately trying to get back to safety. Oh my god, I think those overs might die. Maybe not. Yes, they will. Ooh, but one of them survives magically. The Puma, however, is destroyed by field gun and PTRS fire, and the Panther... Oh my god, I can't believe he didn't detonate that. That was a dead Panther for sure. Why would he not click that demo charge? Well, a Puma for a T-34 is not a terrible trade, I guess. Where is the dead T-34? I don't know where he killed it. It's definitely dead, though, so wherever it is. Where did the T-34 die? This is like weird. I can't find it anywhere. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, Puma down, T-34 down. Panther makes a miracle escape thanks to Chillty's decision not to plant any mines anywhere. That was like the most ridiculously suicidal Panther dive I've ever seen. Obersoldaten will maybe actually clear this field gun unopposed while the T-34 is receiving repairs. And that Panther will be repaired pretty quickly by the Mechanized Regiment HQ. These two squads are going to head left. Oh, he's never salvaged that that M3. He should salvage that. Give himself a little bit of a fuel boost. Field gun cleared. They do have access to the frangible, which they will... That's a bundled and horribly off target. So, Chillty's probably not the only person with lag this game. These three squads are going to head left to engage against that Maxim. And I highly recommend, once hitting Vet 1, using the frangible, which is cheaper and generally more effective.
Watch out! The territory is in our
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Because it explodes instantly on impact, slows its target, does massive area effect damage that's highly consistent, and blocks line of sight.
We have an
It's a
isolated
really good
sector.
grenade. Infiltration grenades on the Maxim force the retreat, and this point will fall into Axis control. Guards force a retreat from that squad of Jaegers right there. The T-34 is fully repaired, and the Panther is also fully repaired. Para should try his absolute very hardest to destroy that with his Panther before this second set of T-34s arrives, which is going to be quite soon. The only reason it isn't here yet is because Para's excellent ability to maintain control of the fuel points, but he's losing control of both of them simultaneously here. T-34 will push all infantry away from the left, and guards are taking the right side unopposed. Panther working on some conscripts here on the center point for right now, and a fresh squad of Obersoldaten is in production, which looks to me like an overinvestment into elite infantry, but I guess he thinks that's worth it. I also kind of think he needs a Raketenwerfer or another source of anti-tank, at least another Panzerschreck. Because trying to beat 3 T-34s with 1 Panther and nothing else is impossible, so... he's gonna need to look into that. Chillty, by the way, has not replaced any of his losses and is floating way too much manpower. He could have definitely fielded at least another squad of guards, combat engineers, conscripts, anything. Combat engineers for more healing and mine sweeping, conscripts so we could maybe merge and have more access to AT grenades in green cover positions, and guards because guards are ridiculous.
Engineer squad. Enemy squad has a sight.
Our
couple mines being planted in this area to try and punish the Panther for over-aggressive charges. There is a minesweeper on the field, but I don't know if he intends to use it on his next dive, although this would be a very bad time to dive. The only one fuel away. There it is. Next set of call-ins will be here very soon. Still has another 400 manpower left after fielding his second set. Maxim over here on the left side will position itself poorly against these Volksgrenadiers. There's a grenade toss, almost wiping that. Obersoldaten trying to capture this sector. Looks like they're gonna lose against those guards.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
I really don't understand why Relic made Obersoldaten worse than guards this patch, but didn't modify either unit's cost at all. 330 manpower for guards, which are now way better than Obersoldaten. 400 for Obers, and they have to be teched too. And they just get wrecked. It's like not even close. But I know it comes down to vet and cover, and that was probably not an optimal engagement for guards, and they didn't have their LMG upgrade, so there's other factors to consider. Where's the demo? He's had so many opportunities on that demo charge. He could have killed a Panther and an Ober squad by now with that thing. It looks like he's monitoring this engagement. He's microing units over here. Not sure what the deal is. Buttons the Panther. This T-34 going in. 2 T-34s over here also going in. Demo charge helps deal a little bit of extra damage. Shots penetrating from the front, and I think this is GG. I don't know how Para is going to recover from the loss of this Panther. These 2 T-34s circling around the left flank. This one continues the frontal attack. I'm pretty sure that Panther and Tier 4 structure will be destroyed, and there's still no Raketenwerfer, no Panzerschreck, nothing that can save the day. Couple shots bouncing on that Panther, but I don't think it's going to matter. T-34 is charging straight into the base and missing all shots. This one should probably disengage. This one can easily continue the chase. Panther continues to try and kite, and the T-34 on the right side actually falls dangerously low to the Tier 4 structure, so it has to pull back to safety. This continues chasing. These 2 T-34s will get away clean. Is that Panther really going to survive? I don't know, maybe. This T-34 may choose to disengage soon. Yeah, he doesn't think he can kill it, so off he goes. Wow, that is one lucky Panther. Oh. And he's going to actually... Why would he drive into close? He could have lost his Panther by allowing his opponent to take one final shot right there. There's main gun destroyed, and that T-34 is dead. Panther gets a miracle. These 2 T-34s pull back for repairs. And Para is up to 220 fuel right now. I wonder if he's going to go with another Panther or try and make it to KT. He's built all 3 tech structures, so King Tiger is a very real possibility for him. Stern Pyos catch conscripts not being monitored over here. There's that retreat. Nicely done with those Stern Pyos. And Obersoldaten are trying to take control of the center VP. These 2 squads heading right to grab the victory point. Decent chance of a wipe on... I'm pretty sure if he detonated that, they would get wiped. I don't think they're far enough away to survive that explosion. Could be wrong. Stern Pioneers recover a Maxim on the victory point and retreat. Victory point right side being taken, and Para will continue to have totally dominant map control and victory point control.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Second Panther queued up, and Jaeger Light Infantry are making their way down the center to engage against this field gun. Couple squads reinforcing, repairing, healing here in the base, make their way back towards the right, try and win an engagement for a certain side. Should probably try and prioritize wiping a few of Para's squads since he's operating on a tiny army right now. Very small force. One of every unit. 1 Volksgrenadier, 1 Over, 1 Jaeger, 1 Sturmpile, 1 Maxim. Truly combined arms. Except for, of course, this blatant Panther spam. Oversoul doesn't have to retreat away from the T-34 right there. Guards engaging against this Volksgrenadier squad. That's going to have to retreat. 2 Panthers are going to dive again without minesweeper support. Will catch this T-34 very out of position with its rear armor exposed. This one's going to disengage right apparently though. This one is going to maybe try and block. Might want to consider circle strafing this AT gun if at all possible. A couple shots penetrating, but that T-34 is done. It will be destroyed. This Panther is making a terrible heel face turn. I have no idea what these Panthers are doing sometimes. Both exposing their rear armor simultaneously to different threats. This one needs to get to safety. This one needs to get to safety. Both of them too low to continue engaging against that field gun especially. 1 T-34 left on the field, and Chillty's horrible fuel control this game means there's not going to be a third set even anytime remotely soon. Couple squads reinforced back to full here in the base. These 3 will make their way towards the center to get maybe victory point control back. Para still very comfortable for victory points. Has 250 remaining and has lots of time. He just doesn't have any infantry. He's really struggling to win the infantry war, but the tank war is definitely going in his favor. 2 Panthers now on the field, and he's killed 3 T-34s with nothing but Panthers. He has no other anti-tank at all. Nothing. He hasn't even planted a mine. He doesn't even have a Panzerschreck on his 1 Volksgrenadier squad. He has only Panthers. Oh my god. Wow.
Conscripts under attack! We are bleeding, comrade! Fire!
Under fire from infantry! Fresh guards troops are standing by.
Oh no! What? That had to be lag. How could he possibly mess that up? That had to be lag. That squad gets a miracle survival right there. Guards over here on the left side moving with combat engineers to take control of the victory point. Infiltration grenades, very minor damage. The squad will be forced to retreat. Hopefully no lucky flame crits or PTRS snipes. Squad gets away maybe by the slimmest of hairs. T-34 moves up, but I don't really think those Panthers had any reason to disengage. Maybe that field gun right there is kind of scary. Doesn't want to get buttoned, I guess, in front of a Vet-2 field gun plus T-34. Chillty a little low on munitions and fuel actually, so he can't spam mark vehicle. He can't spam button.
This territory is ours. The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Or self-repair. Guards moving to engage against the stolen Maxim here in the center, which is going to try to get victory point control back. Preparing, get the clock ticking against Chillty again. Both squads, however, will retreat away from that T-34. The Panthers are both fully repaired and will move to re-engage. A third set of T-34s is still pretty far away. Chillty is floating manpower to a pretty ridiculous extent, by the way. I don't know why he wouldn't field more stuff. He has 1,000 manpower and is still at least 3 minutes away from his third set. No! Para, why do you keep doing this without minesweeper support? It's suicide. That was gonna happen eventually. It's honestly just sheer luck that it hasn't happened yet. T-34 reverses back to safety. Should be okay. Para's immediate concern is the preservation of this Panther, which he will accomplish with an aggressive push with his Volksgrenadiers in conjunction with his tanks to clear the field gun, but he might go down to PTRS fire, might go down to a heavy mortar landing on his tank, honestly, at this point. Even the combat engineers have a PTRS, and I think this one will go down, maybe. I can't believe that's actually going to survive, if that survives. There's no reason for that thing to survive. More infantry move up to punish that thing. Crew the gun! T-34 will finish the job. Okay, destroyed engine. That Panther is on his absolute last legs. There it goes. This Panther brings a guard squad quite low, and it will be forced to retreat. And a fresh Ostwind has been fielded. He lost his Maxim during that, but he still has his core of his 4 infantry squads that he's had this whole time. 1 Ober, 1 Jaeger, 1 Volks, and 1 Sturm. His combined arms infantry force. This Panther should feel pretty free to get aggressive since all mines have already been swept up by Panther treads, which are probably the most expensive minesweeper in the game, but sure. It's going to circle strafe that T-34 with Blitz, and it is destroyed. The AT gun will be cleared by the Ostwind. And there are 3 squads of guards on the field, but Chillty has no shortage of manpower with which to reinforce them, and he's going to have his 3rd set of T-34s on the field pretty soon. Still about a little over a minute away from that happening. Victory point control will go back to Para as he takes control of the center VP with that squad of Obersoldaten. Ostwind doing great work here. Great manpower bleed. It's important to try and bleed manpower against guard motor coordination, and Ostwind is a good tool with which to do it. Wow, 2 field guns queued up? Seriously? I don't know if I feel like that was a little overzealous. 1 field gun, certainly. 2 field guns is actually going to delay his call-ins, I think. And a squad of conscripts. Now he's just getting panicked, I guess. A little confused by that decision. Here comes the first field gun, which will convince that Ostwind to retreat out of the base. Picked up 10 kills, including decrewing a heavy mortar and a wiped conscript squad right there. Will need to pull away from the field gun. Guard squad on the right side taking control of the VP. This tier 4, by the way, never got finished off. He was so close to finishing that thing off, and he never did.
Forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Guards taking control of the right side fuel. Pio's taking control of the left side fuel. Victory point control currently in Paradox's favor. These squads going back to the base. Panther getting healed up. Ostwind will be getting healed up soon. And a fresh squad of Obers. Paradox finally collected the manpower. He needs to start getting a little more infantry out, but it's still elite infantry. He still doesn't have very much of a meat shield in front of his Volksgrenadiers. I think 1 extra squad of Volksgrenadiers could be a good purchase. Maybe even another squad of Jaegers. I don't know. I just feel like operating on something this expensive, very difficult to maintain, but it is nice to have Obersoldaten out. Try and slowly vet them up over the course of the game. Once they get to vet 3+, they can probably take on guards pretty well. It's just very hard to get him vetted up, but he is definitely in the lead right now, especially for tanks and VPs. So, just the manpower game proving difficult for him. His infantry forces clearly nowhere near Chillty's. Obersoldaten force a retreat from guards right there. Might be able to recover a PTRS. That could be a nice pickup. The Vet 3 Panther is making its way to the right side. Will be a very powerful weapon against all targets for the rest of this game. Infantry and tanks alike. Will prove very difficult for Chillty to destroy from this point forward unless it does something really dumb like charging straight down the middle over a mine into 2 AT guns. Which, let's be honest, there's a very good chance of that happening this game. Panther engaging against these 2 T-34s over here on the right side. It's going to have to pull back to safety away from these 2 tanks. It's using Blitz just to be safe. Should be fine. I don't think there's any realistic possibility of that being destroyed. Vet 4 on that thing, by the way. Obersoldaten will retreat to safety. High explosive barrage being deployed down the middle. That Ostwind should really try not to commit suicide if it can at all avoid doing so. Sweeping for mines with Ostwind treads.
Supply sector under attack.
Oh my god, how many times is he gonna dive and like get punished horribly for it this game? Oh my god, please don't lose that Vet 4 Panther. Ah!
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Just took engine damage. Outside of his opponent's vision. Was Chillty really not paying attention for that mine hitting that Panther? Apparently not. He's too occupied with trying to kill an Ostwind over here. There is a dead Vet 4 Panther right there. And his AT guns don't even move to make it so. Oh my goodness. What a shame. Obersoldaten will be forced to retreat from the left side. Vet 4 Jaegers taking control of the right. Should probably try and get that fuel back, but the fuel game is actually still very important. Fuel game is still very important because I think he wants to probably get out a second Panther before this game's over if he's going to contend with Chillty's 4th set of T-34s, which is almost certainly on its way. And if Chillty is allowed to hold both fuel points, they will arrive probably even before that second or third Panther. If not, I guess more like roughly the same time. No attempt to repair this or destroy it from either player. Have they both forgotten about the existence of this building? That's where Panthers and Obers come from, Chillty. He could kill that so easily. There's nothing defending that. All he has to do is drive a tank up and blow it up. He's had like 15 straight minutes where he could have done that and nothing could have stopped him. Obersoldaten engaging against guards over here on the left side. That squad will have to retreat soon against PTRS snipes. T-34 got a huge hit on the Minesweeper. Don't lose the Minesweeper. I know you don't even use the Minesweeper para, but just don't lose it. Okay, sniped by PTRS fire. Ostwin has to reverse back to the base for repairs. Vet 4 Panther is going in way too hard. Huge volley from AT guns. T-34 on the flank. This thing needs to get to safety right now. Lots of stuff planking off the frontal super mega armor of a Vet 4 Panther, so that's good. And hopefully it will get to safety. This thing is the only reason Para may have a chance this game. And he does finally have a Panzer Shrek on his Vet 5 Volksgrenadier squad, so that can help as well. Panther will manage to get to safety. Fortunately. Flamethrower taking control of the right side victory point now, and a triple cap will begin against Paradox, who has managed to bring Chillty down to 75 victory points. But with a triple cap going against him, the victory points will probably pull even quite soon, and Paradox will have to find a way to take back control of this game. He's currently pushed completely off the map. Paradox has neither fuel point, one munitions point, and not a single victory point to his name.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Whoa, that grenade! I didn't even see it, but Volksgrenadiers wipe a guard squad over here on the left side with infiltration grenades, I guess. I think, unless it was like a miracle Panzer Shrek snipe, I wish I'd been paying attention. Obersoldaten moved to push away the flamethrower right and get the victory points back. He will take control of all 3 victory points simultaneously. Nothing anywhere to counter. Unfortunately, Chillty is not setting up proper defenses on victory points. All he has to do to prevent this is throw up a green cover sandbag position and sit some guards behind it, and there will be basically nothing that Paradox can do to unseat him, except for push with this Ostwind and spam grenades, which is very munitions expensive to do, but in all fairness, Para actually does have 230 munitions stockpiled. 230 munitions stockpiled, and he's got 2 squads of Vet 1 overs. He could be spamming frangibles like crazy to turn engagements in his favor, but unfortunately he is not doing so. Squad is getting brought pretty low by guards in red cover. The Austrian moves to support. Over here on the right side, Obersoldaten will try to maintain control of the VP while Jaegers get the fuel back. The victory points are ticking against Chillty so quickly. He needs to do something. He's got 2 squads of guards. Maybe throw some more infantry on the field, get more aggressive with his tanks, figure something out. If he doesn't take victory point control, he's gonna lose. I feel like he's barely even trying. 1 squad of guards makes a push for 1 VP, and that's the only effort he's going to make with this entire army he has at his disposal to take victory points back. I think he's just going to run out of time if he doesn't make a bit of an effort here. 3rd Panther is queued up, and I don't think there's any realistic possibility of this 3rd set of T-34s hitting the field this game. Field gun will make a desperate suicidal push for the VP right here. It will be up against a Vet 4 Panther and Ostwind. T-34 moves to support this field gun, trying to take the left side victory point, slow things down. 13 victory points remain. Scavenger artillery dropped in the center. T-34 will have to disengage. 2 squads of guards sitting here in the base. That one getting reinforced. That one finally moving to try and take territory back. I don't know if they can win an engagement against Vet 4 Jaegers. This clock will be stopped at about 6 victory points when the AT gun finishes taking control of the left side point. And Para still has 141 victory points to his name. Panther drives straight into a mine. Oh my god, what is this push? I think that Panther's gonna die. Second Panther moves to assist in the engagement though. This T-34 trying to kite this Panther to death, gets its main gun destroyed. Vet 5 Panther will go down here. This Austrian falling dangerously low here may also be destroyed. The field gun in the middle was cleared. This one's not available to support in the engagement, and this T-34 is going to have to win the engagement by itself. Does not have any support of any kind from anything. Field gun does set up and destroys the Austrians right there. The clock is still stopped. Guards making a desperate push for victory points over here on the right side. This T-34 is being charged by this third Panther. Oh, the shot missed and it's buttoned. Desperately trying to get that thing back to safety, but there's no source of repairs. He doesn't even have self-repair available to him, and if he did use it, he would probably die. He just has to try and kite forever over a mine. Is there any mine anywhere that can save him? I don't think so. All mines have been swept by Panthers. This T-34 sitting over here on the left side should maybe activate self-repair. This Panther looks like it's going to disengage, try and get to safety. Victory point control will go back to Chillty temporarily, but vetted Obersoldaten are making their way towards victory points, and if a victory point falls anywhere, it will be the game. Overly aggressive crush maneuvers on that guard squad threaten to cost Paradox's Panther right there from field gun fire. It has to get back to safety for repairs, and it looks like a triple cap will get set up here with no chance of countering it with anything. That's gonna be the game. Map control and suicidal Panther dives. Take it. Good game. Well played by Paradox. Well, that was an interesting game. I think Chillty could have probably played this one a little bit better. I think Paradox was ridiculously aggressive with his tanks with no minesweeper support at all. But his aggressive pushes paid off thanks to his opponent's failure to punish him for it. So I guess Paradox read his opponent. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. And Obersoldaten seemed to work kind of okay. Kind of a weird build from him. I don't think the Puma paid off. The flak half-track certainly did, though. So, good game. Saw some interesting stuff here. Good game for sure. Axis wins.